PNC, America's Black News Channel. Watch us on all major cable providers and major streaming platforms. Finally, news that speaks to us.
My next guest, welcome to Dr. Judy Lubin, founder and president of the Center for Urban and Racial Equity, also known as CURE. She's also an adjunct professor at Howard University's Department of Sociology and Criminology. Thank you so much for joining me. Now, yes, the Solutions Journalism magazine recently interviewed you, and the piece was called Unpacking the Uproar Over the First Black Woman Supreme Court Nominee. In the article, you said, quote, "At the end of the day, the same pattern is repeated, and white men end up being selected. And it's not because women and people of color are not qualified. It's because people are used to making the same decisions over and over again. And they're comfortable with maintaining the status quo." So, start off by, telling me this. Do you think that Judge Jackson's nomination is setting others up now for success, just as she says that she, as the first generation, has been set up for success? We all thought something similar with Obama, but then we ended up seeing that we lost a bit of ground there. What do you think?
Thank you so much for having me, Aisha, especially on this historic week. I am so filled with pride and joy over the nomination and the performance of Judge Jackson. This week, I think she really demonstrated, right, that she is setting us up for success, and she's setting us up for a transformation at the Supreme Court that we so desperately need, particularly at this particular moment when we're seeing so many cases that are targeting or attacking civil rights issues and issues that she has worked on over the decades of her experience. And so it's exciting. It's thrilling to see a judge with the exceptional credentials of Judge Jackson being nominated to the Supreme Court. And she absolutely is just this shining example of what it means and what it looks like to work hard, to believe in yourself, to have the encouragement of people and support of mentors and colleagues and her family, her parents there, and family there, and the hearing this year. And it's just such an example of what I believe is more to come, because we are really in the era of Black women and Black women's leadership, really transforming this country and moving us onto a new day.
Which is why we're also seeing backlash and uproar. Your piece also spoke to that uproar. The woman part of the equation isn't always just the issue, apparently, since there have actually been 5 women on the Supreme Court. Not a lot, right? 5 out of the 100 and something. But nonetheless, being a Black woman, or perhaps even, the attempt to pigeonhole her as some kind of progressive Black woman is what you spoke of as the issue here. Talk to us about that.
Absolutely, right. There is something particular about Judge Jackson being a Black woman that has riled up conservative opposition, because it's certainly not just about her being a woman. When President Trump and President Reagan said that they were going to nominate a woman, there was no uproar from conservatives. And when Trump in particular nominated Amy Coney Barrett, Republicans were highlighting and celebrating her gender and the fact that she was the mother of 7 children. But we saw during the hearing this week that the attacks on Judge Jackson had a particular tone and tenor because she is a Black woman. And they tried to ask questions and try to pigeonhole her based on stereotypes of Black women being angry, being soft on crime, and being unqualified. And so they knew that they could not really undermine her credentials and her merit. And so they tried to paint her as being sympathetic to pedophiles and not giving the types of sentences that they would like to see. And it's just been powerful to watch how her experience and her lived experience and her decades of experience as a judge has really reinforced why we need a justice like Judge Brown, like Judge Jackson.
You know what I also just found so fascinating? There's nowhere for them to go, right, to really pick her apart. And the optics of trying to attack a Black woman who is making history also don't look so good. But nonetheless, they still tried to hang around her neck every single wedge issue that has to do with race that they are vilely trying to, beat the drum on the stump about around her neck. So the fact that CRT came up, critical race theory came up in this conversation, book banning essentially, and conversations about curriculum in schools came up in this conversation. They also tried to question her about whether she thinks there should be more police, essentially trying to back this black woman into a position where she is going to carry a mantle on funding or defunding the police. Every single trope that they could come up with that they think civil rights advocates are interested in dealing with, they tried to throw at her, which I thought was completely unfair and ridiculous and had nothing to do with the law necessarily. Even before she was named, Ted Cruz said the nomination of a black woman would be insulting and offensive, to the points that you were making about a woman and the hypocrisy. Listen to this. Oh, we actually don't have the sound for this, but that's him there going on and on and on. I want to ask you to, I don't know why I'm asking you to make sense of people like Ted Cruz, because they're nuts. But why do you think that he can get away with this kind of hypocrisy, where he is essentially accusing President Biden of some kind of reverse racism by saying, oh, you're going to nominate a black woman, when in fact, to your point, it seemed as if other presidents were heroes when it mattered to them to care about gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. He can get away with this hypocrisy in part because of who he is, right? He's a white man and that has radical viewpoints and has a platform in order to spew racist and sexist ideas. It's the same reason why we have Tucker Carlson asking for Judge Jackson's LSAT scores, right? So there's always this continuous undermining of our skills, of our qualifications, of our talents. And what was so infuriating about this week was Ted Cruz in particular. There were several Republicans this week that got me riled up, but certainly Ted Cruz, I think, is on the top of the list in the ways in which he tried to back Judge Jackson in a corner, and he had nothing, right? And it's frustrating because you see that there is this clear attempt, right? They just threw the dog whistle out. There's just this clear attempt to say that because she's a black woman, she must have some affinity to CRT, to the 1619 Project, and that she's going to use CRT in order to make decisions at the Supreme Court. And so that's one of the ways in which they're trying to use race to drive fear, to suggest that a black woman at the Supreme Court is going to represent some sort of a threat, and that she should be disqualified and not confirmed.
Dr. Lubin, you are a criminology professor. And, we're talking right now about all of these things that they kind of threw at her that were maybe not necessarily related. She was really composed in her demeanor. At some point, she did say to Ted Cruz, she was like, I said what I said about these cases. She didn't say it that way, the way that I say it. But she essentially was like, yo, I said all I had to say. Stop badgering me about this. Talk briefly about the temperament that she had to have to deal with those attacks, and what a temperament must be in order to have some kind of formulaic way to hand down those sentences that she was being questioned about.
Absolutely. So I'll say I'm a sociologist and not a criminologist, but I can answer the question nonetheless, right? That right, the incredible amount of patience that she showed over hours and hours of being attacked, and having her record, attempts at her record to be undermined was just incredible. And I think it was an example of how when we have to show up, particularly when Black women have to show up in these types of settings, we have to mute our emotions, right? Because there is this tendency to label us as and emotional. And we saw how composed she was. And I think it's an example of how she will be at the Supreme Court as different cases come up in front of her. The level of the temperament, the character, the integrity, the fairness that she is going to show, and that she has already demonstrated after adjudicating over 500 cases, only underscores why she is such an important particularly at this moment, right? Republicans were trying to really throw red meat to the conservative base with all of the
Yep.
accusations around CRT and 1619 project. And she is, such a unique and exceptional candidate at this moment. And I'm so excited and glad that Biden didn't run away from the potential cultural war narratives that we saw this week, and really selected the type of judge that we need to be a justice at the Supreme Court.
So am I. And I have to say that the double standard about this whole temperament conversation drives me absolutely crazy, though, because let's all remember Brett Kavanaugh literally spewing fire, spitting at the members of the Senate who were asking him questions, angry and beet red. So the fact that she had to sit there calm, cool, and collected while she was being attacked just shows how dope we are as Black women and all that we can endure. Dr. Judy Lubin, founder and president of the Center for Urban and Racial Equity and adjunct professor at Howard University, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Amplified. Appreciate your thoughts.